Okay, yeah.
Uh, Thank you very much, Ajahn Tawachai, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the program Dhamma for Life. As usual, we come back to see you on every Saturday early morning in USA, in Washington, from the page of Wat Atam Rama in Washington, and also Wat Putta Panyanantaram, so Vancouver, Canada. And we'd like to say good evening, Thailand, and welcome to the Dhamma for Life programs. Today, we're going to talk about the ideal householder, how to be a perfect home life, how to gain the perfect home life. That is the topic that we're going to discuss today. And let's check out what's the list for becoming or having a perfect householder. A person that can be said to have achieved success in the domestic life as a good householder who is worthy of the respect and emulation that can be measured by the following list. That's the main topic, main idea that we're going to talk this morning. The first one is having a four kinds of the happiness. These are the four kinds of the happiness that should be fitting for the householders, or the lay people should always make effort to attain. They are briefly known as the four kinds of the happiness for the householder, and that is we call it Kamapoka Sukha. The first one is called the Ati Sukha, the happiness of from possessing wealth, the pride, the satisfaction, and the security of having wealth, rightfully acquired through the sweat of his own brow and the strength of his own arms. That means the ones who have a really good career, good duty, having a good job, will make a pride of life. The second one is called Poka Sukha. The Poka Sukha means the happiness of spending wealth. The pride and the satisfaction of knowing that he has used his own wealth rightfully gained for the support of himself, his family, his dependents, and for a good causes. So this is what we call it Poka Sukha. หรือในภาษาไทยเรารู้จักกันในชื่อของโภคสุขนะครับ The third quality or the third one is called the Anasukha. The happiness of the freedom from the depth. You don't have a loan, either the constitutional loan or the personal loan. You're free from this loan. The pride and the satisfaction of knowing that he is free, not in debt to anybody. You see how freedom, when you're making money and you spend money in the right way, you will not have a debt. The fourth one, the Buddha mentioned about the anavashasukha, the happiness of the blameless conduct, the pride and the satisfaction of knowing that he has acted honestly. So anavashasukha is about regarding about the honesty, the faultlessly and blamelessly in the body, speech, and mind. So of these four kinds of the happiness, the last one is the most valuable one. The unwholesome and wholesome action has to be really differentiated, has to be separated, and choosing only the one that being a wholesome action of the speech, act, and mind. So the Buddha mentioned that the fourth one, the last one, the anavashasukha, is the most valuable one. Then the next one is the Buddha talking about being a model householder. One of people who live the household life can be divided into several groups and classified into the various levels. There are both bad and good, of course, and the good can be in turn be divided into the several levels. The idea of the householder who is truly worthy of respect is the 10th of the following 10 kinds of the householders, or Kamapoka, or what we call it, the Buddha called the Kamapoki, I think, yes. The first group is referring to the wealth through the wrongful means. That is, number one, having acquired wealth, they do not use it to support themselves in comfort, and they do not share it with others. Use it for a good cause. So this is what we call it, the first group of having the acquired wealth of the Kamapoki. The second one, having acquired wealth, they use it to support themselves in the comfort, but they do not share with other or use it for good causes. The third one, having acquired wealth as well, they used to support themselves in the comfort and they share it with other and use it for the good cause. Yeah. That is about sharing. When you have a good enough of the properties of money or what we call wealth, then you can share. The second group is acquiring the wealth both rightfully and wrongfully. That is, having acquired wealth, they deal with it as in some point, or having acquired wealth, they deal with the next point, or having acquired wealth, they deal with the next and next point in the upper levels. And then the third group, acquiring wealth rightfully. Having wealth, they deal with the first point, second point. And that's how we acquire always to the upper levels of the qualities for the life of the householder. And then the Buddha also further talk about having acquired wealth that can deal with the next upper levels. However, they are still attached to, infatuated, and obviously obsessed with the wealth, using it without full awareness, or it sometimes draw back, and the lack of the wisdom that can lead to the independent from or mastery over wealth that can be good from 1 or 2 or 3 levels. Then the Buddha mentioned also about the special group, one who really acquire the wealth rightfully and use it in mindfully, comprehensively, understandingly, with a mind that is detached, has the following characteristics. By having acquired wealth rightfully, they have to share with others and use it for the good causes. Not only that, but moreover, he will not be obsessed or infatuated with the wealth, but use it for the full knowledge and awareness for its own benefit and the fault. It is a merit, and whatever can be merit or demerit, he has the wisdom to understand, and then he will be free from either merit or demerit by making himself a master of the wealth. So this is the most valuable group of the what the Buddha mentioned about the Kamapokhi. These 10 qualities of the householder was concern for as not only for the lay people, but the Buddha himself also advised to the monks and nuns. and can be, and the Buddha mentioned those monks and nuns or the lay people who can have or possessing these qualities of this all these dhammas can be an excellent one, can be an excellent kind of the person, and should be one that can be publicly accounted as the model householders. Then the next one, the governing life with the four qualities. This is very interesting. The Dhamma of the Buddha that insisting that the Buddha is the knower of the world. One must practice accordingly to the four qualities of the four leading the household life, known as the Karawasa Dhamma, which is having the four qualities. ในภาษาไทยเราเรียกกันว่าคารวาสธรรมนั่นเองครับซึ่งมีอยู่4ประการนะครับ Okay, if you follow me, you will be really familiar with these four qualities of the householder or the karawa. The first one is called satya, the truthfulness. He always addressed to the truth, integrity, honesty, sincerity. He will always has as good as his word. He ensures that his action are trustworthy and reliable. And the second quality is called Dhamma. Dhamma is about training. He always disciplines and restrain himself, always adjust himself to the condition that is correct and improve himself always so as to be constantly progressing or very progressive life by Dhamma or training. Then the third quality the Buddha mentioned about khanti, the endurance or patience. One has to apply himself to doing his work with the diligence and effort. That he has really tenacious and endures without wavering, have really firm in his aim, have really firm aim and does not become discouraged because of this Dhamma, the khanti, the endurance. And then the last one is called ajaka, the sacrifice. He will always have a thoughtful and really generous, always helping person, helping others, and always perform a good works, really relinquishment, greed and pride. And he always able to work with others without being narrow-minded, selfish, or insisting on having things with his own way. So these are what we call it karawasa dhamma, the quality of the good, the quality, the internal actually is a spiritual power, the internal power of the lay people or the householder or what we call the karawas. And then the next one, by accepting the responsibility for one's dependent, that he has a good and harmonious relation within the families, amongst the relatives, friends, works associates, and all of the dependents, by not only seeing to the material needs, but also bringing the mental benefit into their life by maybe being a good example to them and try to encourage them to into the growth, into the growth of life, the upper levels of life, with the virtues known as the 5 quality that leading to a noble growth. In Pali we call it Araya Vati, which having 4 qualities. The first one is, we call it the growth in faith, encouraging them to have a firm belief and the faith in the triple gems, that is Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha, the teacher, the teaching, and the community of the noble disciples, that maybe in performing a good deed to have a solid object of the faith in their hearts. The first one, the first quality is called sattha นั่นเองนะครับอริยวัตถิอริยวัตร The second one is growth in the morality. Try to encourage them to have a good conduct, to be, for example, honest and maintain the good livelihood, to be really disciplined and well manners. The first one คือการเป็นบุคคลที่งอกงามเจริญงอกงามด้วยศรัทธาข้อที่สองก็คือแนะนำให้บุตรหลานเพื่อนหรือว่ามิตรสหายที่อยู่รอบตัวเราบุคคลที่แวดล้อมเราเป็นบุคคลที่เจริญงอกงามด้วยศีลจากศรัทธามาเป็นศีล and the next one the growth in learning นั่นหมายถึงการมีความเจริญงอกงามด้วยสุตตะการศึกษาหาความรู้อยู่ตลอดเวลา encouraging them to having a good knowledge, the high knowledge, through the process of learning, hearing, by advising them or try to encourage them to learn these things that will revive and improve their life and mind. This is what we call sutta. And then the next one, the growth in giving. ต้องมีความเจริญงอกงามไม่ใช่แค่ศรัทธาศีลและสุตตะจะต้องมีการเจริญงอกงามในเรื่องของการให้คือจาคะ growth, the growth in giving. One must try to encourage them to be generosity, to be thoughtful to one another, and try to derive the satisfaction by helping all the fellow มีน้ำใจไมตรีต่อกันมีความเอื้อเฟื้อเผื่อแผ่แล้วต้องเกิดจากการพอใจด้วยนะครับการพอใจที่จะทำประโยชน์ให้กับเพื่อนมนุษย์ความหมายของจาคะไม่ได้อยู่ที่การกระทำเท่านั้นแต่ต้องเกิดจากความพอใจถึงจะเรียกว่าจาคะเป็นการให้ในระดับจิตใจนั่นเองครับเรียกว่าจาคะมัน is this quality is more than just giving it's giving because of good intention having a good intention having a good will good understanding right understanding and then you start giving that is called jaka is the beauty of life to make life to beautify to make life beautiful jaka is a one quality one of the quality that the human being should acquire should be having this quality jaka or what we call the growth in giving the last one is called growth in wisdom ต้องมีความงอกงามด้วยปัญญา encouraging them to be reflective to understand reason to know the good from the evil you must be able to differentiate between good and bad benefit from the good what it is useful for you and what is not useful so the Buddha taught what is good and what is not that is very simple way how to understand what is called wisdom in Buddhism learn how to know what is good what is notนั่นคือผู้ที่มีปัญญาในพุทธศาสนาคือการรู้ว่าอะไรเป็นอะไรมีประโยชน์อะไรไม่มีประโยชน์หรืออะไรมีโทษแยกแยะได้ differentiate between good and bad good thing and good things good thing and bad things good people and bad people and hanging out with the good one be away from the bad ones either person or material or even a place or location from the workplace where you can if it is good you're supposed to apply to work for the good place hanging with the good boss good fellows good friend good association you are able to differentiate and then you advise them as why your members of your householders your wife your dependents your children your daughter your child or even your friend this is how you beautify your wisdom and then the next one the Buddha also further advised the conducting oneself as a good citizen to be a good citizen leading oneself and one's families to be prosperity and happiness and being being a good constructive member of the society by practicing the following dhammas that will that will mention as the following dhamma. The first one is called na satharana tarasa. By not being promiscuous or preoccupied with the sex. This is called na satharana tarasa. คือการไม่คบชู้สู่ชายไม่คบชู้สู่หาหมกมุ่นในเรื่องทางเพศ because it's not being the promiscuous or by not preoccupied with the sex things the sexual thing the sex manners. The second quality is called na punche satu meko. Na punche satu meko means not selfishly talking or tasty for oneself. That means not having a narrow mind. You have a really broad mind. Always asking, if you need anything, I can help you. If you want something, I can give you some support. คือการเป็นคนมีใจกว้างนั่นเองครับณพุนเชสาธุเมโกการเป็นบุคคลที่มีใจกว้างไม่มีใจแคบหรือว่า narrow mind. Then the next one is called นเสเวโลกยะติกังนเสเวโลกยะติกังNever wasting the time by arguing about the wordless thing. Time, labor, and thought are really three things that are valuable for life. การเป็นบุคคลที่ไม่เสียเวลาไปกับการถกเถียงสิ่งที่ไม่มีสาระในชีวิตนี่เรียกว่านเสเวโลกยะติกัง The next one the Buddha mentioned about Vatta Sampanno. Vatta Sampanno means doing or performing one's duty regularly and completely with mindfulness. คือเป็นบุคคลที่ปฏิบัติหน้าที่ตัวเองปฏิบัติหน้าที่ของตนเองอย่างสม่ำเสมอแล้วสมบูรณ์ด้วยนี่เรียกว่าวัตตสัมปันโน Then the next one the Buddha mentioned อัปปมัตโตคือต้องเป็นบุคคลหรือวางตัววางใจไม่ประมาท always mindfulness awareness in all every action either speaking acting or thinking อัปปมัตโตคือต้องไม่ประมาทอยู่ตลอดเวลาไม่ว่าจะพูดจะคิดจะทำ And then the next one is called วิจักขโน วิจักขโน is วิจักขโน It's about being judicious by doing things with the wisdom นั่นหมายความว่าทุกๆการกระทำทุกๆคำพูดทุกๆความคิดพระพุทธเจ้าแนะนำให้ควรทำด้วยปัญญาด้วยความรู้ที่ตนเองได้ขนขวายมาได้ฝึกฝนมา That means the implementation of the wisdom that you have been training you have been ได้รับการฝึกฝนมา you have been studying educational or learning and then you apply your knowledge your comprehensive your constructive knowledge into what you're speaking into what you're doing into even what you are thinking and that is called vijakkano the application of the wisdom or implementation of the wisdom and then the next one the Buddha mentioned about niwatavutti atatto means being a polite being a gentle not stubborn or really arrogant being open to opinions of the others คือการเป็นบุคคลที่ใจกว้างนั่นเองครับรับฟังความคิดเห็นไม่เย่อหยิ่งเปิดใจรับฟังความคิดเห็นของคนอื่นทัศนคติของผู้อื่นนี่อย่างนี้เรียกว่านิวาวุตติอัตถโธเป็นคนสุภาพนั่นเองครับไม่ดื้อไม่ดื้อกระด้างไม่ต่อต้านความคิดเห็นของคนอื่นนะครับ The next one the Buddha called is Suratto means being modest having a love of the refinements cleanliness and orderliness ในภาษาไทยเราก็คือเป็นบุคคลผู้มีความสงบเสงี่ยมเรียบร้อยมีความปราณีตในการงานรักษาความสะอาด cleanliness นี่เรียกว่าสุรโต Then the next one the Buddha said the Sakilemuttu means the person who are speaking very politely having a pleasant speech lovely speech being gentle in both deeds and thoughts คือพูดง่ายๆเป็นบุคคลที่พูดจาน่าฟังจิตใจอ่อนโยนไม่หยาบคายไม่กระด้างนี่เรียกว่าสุขิโลมุทิ and also สังฆเหตาจมิตานังสังฆเหตาจมิตานัง means being kind and very generous to one's friends คือการมีน้ำใจเอื้อเฟื้อสงเคราะห์มิตรสหายตลอดเวลา generosity the generous mind and then the next one we call สังวิภาคี means sharing helping people in general คือเป็นบุคคล ที่คอยแบ่งปันช่วยเหลือคนทั่วไปอยู่ตลอดเวลานี่เรียกว่าสังวิภาคี and then the next one วิธานวาวิธานวา is about managing the duties efficiently and effectively คือเป็นบุคคลที่ไม่ละเลยนะครับการงานเห็นการงานที่จำเป็นต้องทำก็รีบลงมือทำทันทีไม่ประมาทไม่เลื่อนไม่หาข้ออ้างมาเป็นที่กล่าวอ้างเพื่อต้องการจะหลีกเลี่ยงงานอย่างนี้เรียกว่าวิธานวาวิธานวาคือ always managing you know if you cannot do by yourself you can manage it then the next one is called ตัปเปยะTappeya is about supporting the learned and the virtuous monks. Tappeya has the bigger sense of helping and sharing, supporting. When you have a chance to support the good one, the monks, Buddhist society, Tappeya คือการช่วยเหลือสงเคราะห์ช่วยเหลือหรืออนุเคราะห์บุคคลผู้ทรงศีลเช่นช่วยเหลือกิจกรรมของสงฆ์การไปช่วยสงฆ์ซ่อมแซมวัดการไปช่วยสงฆ์แม้กระทั่งการให้ความอนุเคราะห์ดูแลสงฆ์ผู้ป่วยผู้อาพาธการจัดหาจีวรไตรจีวรเครื่องนุ่งห่มให้กับบุคคลผู้ทรงศีลไม่จำเป็นว่าจะต้องเป็นพระอย่างเดียวนะครับเป็นฆราวาสผู้กระทำความดีผู้อยู่ในศีลในธรรม and then we support them อย่างนี้เรียกว่าตัปเปยะ give a very constructive supporting the learned ones or the virtuous one for example the monks and nuns or the noble being a noble person ตัปเปยะ and then the next one is called ธรรมกาโม 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 means always loving the truth learning about the Dhamma learning about the teaching of the Buddha try to get accessibility always accessible Dhamma accessibility and try to analyze the Dhamma loving truly esteeming the virtue this is what we call it ธรรมกาโมAnd then the next one is called, the Buddha called it Suttatharo. Suttatharo is about having a really good habit of reading, hearing, thoroughly knowing on everyone feel. Try to develop themselves to the upper level of knowledge until become a skillful คือพยายามศึกษาหาความรู้อยู่ตลอดเวลาจนเป็นคนที่ได้ชื่อว่าผู้เชี่ยวชาญหรือผู้ชำนาญการนี่เรียกว่าสุตตาทโร I used to have one friend who is a monk in when I went last time to Italy, and his given name is Sutataro. I'm sorry. That is the meaning. Sutataro คือเป็นบุคคลผู้ชอบศึกษาหาความรู้อยู่ตลอดเวลาสุตตาทโรชอบอ่านมากชอบฟังมากชอบขีดเขียนมากชอบวิเคราะห์คิดธรรมวิจยะนั่นเองครับเรียกว่าสุตตาทโรจนกระทั่งเป็นบุคคลผู้เชี่ยวชาญในด้านใดด้านหนึ่งเพราะมีสุตตาทโร the qualities the last one of today Dhamma that should all the householder or the friend or the member of the households should learn and should practice. It's called Palipuchako. Palipuchako is the person who always possessing an inquiring mind, seeking ever more knowledge. Palipuchako คือบุคคลผู้ใฝ่ศึกษาหรือใฝ่เรียนอยู่ตลอดเวลาไม่หยุดนิ่ง When we heard somebody saying that life is about learning ชีวิตคือการศึกษานี่คือความหมายของคำว่าปริปุชโก always learning seeking for more knowledge try to up oneself into the highest levels so this is the Dhamma this is the quality or the group of Dhamma that I bring out for you guys I wish that the Dhamma that we discussed today that I have brought today will benefit you at least to develop our own life develop our speech action and our thought I thank you very much for watching this program I will pass this back to Ajahn Thawatchai and then we will come back to see you again next early morning or Saturday thank you and have a great day
Thank you Yom Shasan. Thank you everyone